This extreme heat is causing a change in operations at the Koppel Family YMCA as staff are not only watching out for members, but also for themselves and each other. 1011's Brandon Muting caught up with the aquatics director and has more on how they're dealing with the heat. Brandon?
Madison, the heat has everyone thinking the same thing, going to the pool and cooling off. I spoke with the YMCA today and they told me that more than 160 people were at the outdoor pools at the Koppel Family YMCA. Now with the influx of people and the challenge of the heat wave, it changes how lifeguards work. Aquatics director Sierra Esparza usually watches the pool from the sidelines, but when the heat cranks up, she joins the rotating lifeguards to make sure everyone, including staff, stays safe.
Make sure we got 15-minute rotations to get them in the office and cool down quicker. We got cooling rags in our buckets. We got popsicles and Gatorade in the guard office.
And while the water might feel like a good way to cool off from the heat wave, it doesn't totally protect you from the temps.
The water might make you feel like you're cooling off, but you still want to make sure that you are getting your shade time, taking your breaks, and drinking your water.
Lincoln Fire and Rescue is urging everyone to limit their time outdoors, despite the activity.
Try to set an alarm or set a clock on your phone. We sometimes mismanage our time and we thought, oh, I was only outside for 15 minutes and it was 30, 40 minutes. Try to set an alarm so it reminds you just to get inside, get into some cooler temperatures.
Throughout the week, the YMCA has also been sending reminder messages on signs to look out for when it comes to heat-related illnesses, with symptoms like dizziness, headaches, and fainting. Esparza also told me that if kids start looking a little red, lifeguards will remind them to reapply sunscreen. Now, if you are without air conditioning, on our 1011 website, we also have a list of cooling centers where you can also go to. For now, reporting live in Lincoln, Brandon Muting, 1011 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. New tonight at 6, the Museum of American Speed is hosting their biannual International Speedsters Trials and Reunion. And if you're interested in some historic vintage vehicles, you definitely want to check this out. Cars from Model Ts to vintage race cars participated in the Hill Climb event today, designed to be a fun sporting event in the spirit of hill climbs, which were popular in the early days of the automobile. If you want to check out the event, it goes till tomorrow. You can find a list of times on the Museum of American Speed's website. Well, as the city of Lincoln grows, officials continue to search for new ways to keep innovating, even paying a visit to the Sunflower State this week. 1011's Darsha Dodge spent this morning chatting with Lincoln's Chamber of Commerce about the lessons they're bringing back to the good life. She joins me now in the studio with more. Darsha?
Yeah, Madison, with little under half the population of Lincoln, the city of Topeka, Kansas has a lot going for it, with a zoo and plenty of historic sites, all punctuated by a beautiful state capitol building. Now, Topeka played host to around 30 Lincoln officials this week in hopes of getting ideas to keep growing and improving right here at home. The Chamber of Commerce, elected officials, and local business leaders took the 3-hour drive south to Kansas capital city for their very first city swap. Jason Ball, president of Lincoln's Chamber, says they were looking to learn about Topeka's library system and how they work to help their homeless. One of their biggest interests was Evergy Plaza, an event space with a stage and fountains right in the heart of Topeka. Ball saying they wanted to learn about the funding and the work Topeka did as Lincoln works to complete fundraising for a similar space at South Haymarket Park. And Topeka, in turn, takes ideas from Lincoln.
And I know when Topeka comes and visits here, they're very interested in what we're doing out at the Lincoln Airport for expanded air service, and then also just the investment that we've made in the terminal itself. So there's a lot that we can learn from each other.
Our neighbors to the south are set to visit the Cornhusker State at the end of July, where they'll visit Pinnacle Bank Arena, the Sandhills Youth Complex, and check out the city's library system as well. Now, Madison, I actually pulled some numbers to compare with Topeka. One stat I found interesting, Topeka's population is actually declining while Lincoln's is growing, just topping 300,000 at the last census. I'll have more on the lessons learned and what makes Lincoln such a spotlight coming up at 10. For now, we'll send it back over to you.